Hello everybody, today we're looking at a 1,470 square foot condo unit from Rancho, Mirage, California. Now it was built in 2001 and these clients are interested in purchasing this unit and then renovating it to update it. So let's have a look at the floor plan and some of the challenges that we need to overcome. Starting out with the front entry, which is a very strange space, and then there's this weird triangular closet because of all of these 45-degree angles that are introduced into the plan. I really don't understand why 45-degree angles are introduced into a floor plan that is otherwise square. The kitchen is a complete disaster. The island is very strangely placed. It has a very strange diagonal orientation to the dining room. There's a lot of wasted floor space in the center of the kitchen. It's not very efficient, and the appliance layout isn't great. The bedroom, the master bedroom, is accessed directly off the living room, which is not ideal, and there is some wasted space in the ensuite bathroom and the laundry. So we're going to redraw this plan, and we're going to fix all of these problems in a simple way. I actually think this unit has a lot of potential. This is the type of unit that you probably want to try to search for and buy if you're interested in renovating something, because it's probably due for a renovation, so there's some value added in there. And of course the original unit was not great in terms of its design, but the actual shape and size of it are pretty good. So let's have a look. I've done a little bit of work in advance and I've changed some of the walls, but I've really kept it minimal in terms of the amount of structural changes that I'm going to propose. So I'm going to keep the guest bathroom exactly the same. What I have done, however, is I've changed the walk wall of the bedroom, of the guest bedroom, and I bumped it in towards the dining room a little bit, and I'll show you why. Because that allows us to get a full bank of millwork closets behind the door here. So we need 2 feet for those. And this is excellent because now we have a ton of storage for this bedroom, and then we can carry that bank even into this little hallway area as a linen closet. And now what we've got is we've got an access to the guest room and the guest bath that is in this vestibule, so it's a much more private location. And I've included a barn door here that we could close to make this an ensuite. So just finishing it off with the placement of the bed. The bedroom is an excellent size, so we can get a really good size bed in here with night tables. And the proportion of the room is now really nice. So this finishes off this part really well. So in terms of the entry, we now have a nice entry space for guests. I'm going to propose that we put a bench and possibly a mirror, some artwork on this wall so you see it when you come in. I've got the entry closet now tucked around the corner in this vestibule, so it's out of the way. And then the laundry and the air conditioner are pretty much in the same spot, but I made the room a little bit smaller, and that will help us with the ensuite when we get to that. So now let's look at the kitchen. This is probably the biggest change that I've made, is I've swapped out the walk-in closet from the bedroom and returned that space now to the kitchen as a pantry, and I'm going to show you why in a sec. So if we lay out the kitchen and just run the counter all the way across the back wall, kind of like the way it was before, but let's place the fridge at the end. When you're designing a kitchen, you always want to place the fridge first because it's the biggest appliance and they really work well on an end. And then we can put the cooktop in the center between the wall and the fridge. And that's actually a really good design tip, because if you center it on that space, then you're going to have lots of room on either side for cooking. So now what that allows is an island placement, and we can actually really get a really good size island, and a square island as opposed to the one that looked like a loaf of bread or something bizarre before. And we can put our sink, and we can put the dishwasher next to the sink. And then we're going to allow us to have 3 counter stools, which is great. So if I'm in the kitchen now, and this is me and this is my feet, I always like to think about what you're looking at when you're in the kitchen. If I'm at the sink, I can look out over the dining room, plus I can look out to the deck and towards the view of the golf course. That's pretty amazing. So now in this butler's pantry, we're going to have room for a secondary sink and some upper cabinet storage, which is nice. And then we're going to be able to have a walk-in pantry for additional kitchen storage. I've also included a barn door here so that we could close that off. So the big challenge is I've taken away the walk-in closet for the master, but I'm going to put it back, and I'm just going to put it back as a freestanding millwork closet. It's of course going to have to go wall to wall, floor to ceiling with some closure panels, but that is now going to be the spatial division between what was the sunroom and the bedroom. And if you measure out the actual lineal footage of what we had in the walk-in closet before to what this new millwork closet has, it's exactly the same. So I really like these because it's going to look like millwork. And then that allows the bed actually to be tucked in to the top section of this bedroom, which I really like if they're asymmetrical, because it really helps with the circulation into the bathroom so that you're not kind of banging into the bed when you're walking through. So there's a great spot for the bed. The bathroom layout we can pretty much leave the same way, but I'm just going to stretch the shower all the way across now so we can get a bigger shower because we don't have that nook. I've returned that space back to the laundry room. And now the toilet is pretty much the same location, and then the vanity is pretty much the same location. We're just going to take it out and update it for something new. So let's finish off with the rest of the furniture. It's now logical where we're going to place everything. So the dining room, of course, is going to be where the dining room was before, but we don't have that awkward 45-degree angled loaf of bread style island interfering with the placement of the dining table. So we can now get a really nice sized dining table, because I think these people like to entertain and have lots of people over. So this is an 8-person table, and if it was centered on a piece of artwork on that wall, that would actually be really, 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 really nice to have that. And then for the living room, for the furniture for the living room, we have a lot of space. So what I'm gonna suggest that we do is a really, really big sectional sofa, and I'm gonna orientate it towards the view and the sliding doors. And then what that allows us to do is this little bit of extra wall space that we've got between the sliding door and the other window is where we can wall mount our TV. We've had a lot of discussion on the site about how high to mount TVs and where they should be located and the importance of doing all of that. So I appreciate everybody's feedback on TV location, but I think that works really well. So then finishing off just with this little sunroom. I mean, this room could be a whole bunch of things. It could be a study space. You could put a desk in there. It could be a little bit of an extra living room space. What I'm going to propose is that it's a cocktail lounge with 2 chairs and a table. And we could even put a small TV on the back side of the millwork so that you have something to look at if you're in that space. So this is what I'm going to suggest that we do to this 1,470 square foot condo unit that was built in 2001 in Rancho Mirage. Of course, I would love to hear what you guys think about this. So you can send me a comment or you can send me a message.